Hi, welcome to the Articulate Outburst podcast. We're going through the album one track at a time in a classic albums style production. From our point of view, the album's now finished. It's on iTunes, so it's on Apple Music. I will keep going at iTunes. It's on Apple Music, it's on Deezer, it's on Spotify, it's on all the platforms you'd expect. Give it a listen in its entirety. We've not got so much as a record label. We're on the platforms by a company called AWAL. Big respect for them. So it's artists without a label. They will support you. And then if it ever reaches fruition, then they come to some arrangement ongoing. So from their point of view, it's a lost leader. From our point of view, they'll put everything on these sites, and we kind of like, I think our last royalties was all of 17 pence, so no one's getting millions on this. But it's just nice to go, and at least to see something you've created out there in the ether. It's it makes me incredibly proud. It's taken 4 years to get to this stage, and that's a lot of hard work. Turning to the next record on the album, which is How Were They to Know. This is centred around the Muslim grooming gang. I'm not going to go into that because obviously we have terms and conditions of a certain YouTube platform that probably wouldn't appreciate in-depth analysis of that. We've got a veil of silence over this. Nobody wants to talk about this, but obviously punk rock is that smell that goes right up your nose. There were many pitfalls with this. We could have fallen into the trap of jeering at the kind of perpetrators. So really set it from the point of view of the victims. I've empowered them in this. Obviously things are, events overtook them. But at the time that they were making these decisions, they thought they would have been the right ones. And they were exploited by people that were well versed in this kind of abuse. The modus operandi is simple, it's affection, it's flattery, then it's drugs and alcohol, followed by abuse. And this is the modus operandi of this operation. The majority of which are one particular religion doesn't seem to come out and condemn it quite as loudly for me as it should. Piss poor police work, piss poor social services. It could be due to underfunding. Who knows? It could be due to underfunding, or it could be a deep-seated cowardice. And more importantly, could it be an inability to tackle the problem? Do they not even know how to start? I mean, given we know how it happens, given we know what it's like in its embryonic stage, its later stage and its mature stage, although more often than not now, we're then getting the historical abuse claims coming up. So it seems to have taken yet another chapter that when these people become a little bit older, they feel a little bit more confident coming forward and feel a little bit more confident facing their attackers, facing their perpetrators and naming names. So it does seem to have developed a fourth chapter. Notwithstanding that, we're not going to let this lie. This is a song based on this. It's called How Were They to Know. Let's get straight into it. So we've got a really whiny guitar there as an intro, and then straight back in with that rhythm. A real hard guitar slam from our guitarist there. He really loved that one, and so did I. The drums flickering away there, the bass thundering in, the lead guitar still whining away, the rhythm guitar growling like a car engine, and the drums backing it all up. This is a romp. This is a no excuse, no holds barred punk rock banging tune. And there we go, great opening line, tells you exactly what's going on. If you're writing a newspaper column, you could probably put that in about 3 or 4 paragraphs. It's very difficult to compress what you want to say into a song in 4 lines, but I think we quite got that there. They showed you love and they gave you affection. It was nothing more than a pretension. And you just think to yourself, you can see how this was operating, and I just think it's a great line. Into the chorus. how were you to know the game's objectives? And that's true at the front end. I think hindsight's a beautiful thing. At the front end, there's no way they could have had that. They were knowing that they were going to be in over their heads very quickly. As I said before, this abuse has a modus operandi. You can almost set the clock by exactly what's going to happen. And obviously these people were victims and abused, seeking attention, seeking a bit of excitement, seeking a boyfriend. But best one in the world, not the kind of boyfriend you wanted, was it? And that's quite an interesting one, that you're streetwise, smart and cool, but you lacked perspective. I'm sure these girls thought they were quite hip. I thought they were probably a little bit streetwise, a little bit clever, a bit smart, a bit chelpy. I suspect that they probably were, and within their own world, that would have been quite a nice thing to have, to be kind of cool, to be a bit flippant, the kind of arrogance of youth. I think quickly things have overtaken them, and obviously we know how it works from there on in. But that's kind of like that, you know. We're saying it exactly as it is in the record. Second chorus. And there we go. Your head's turned easily. Flattery counts quite high. That's become apparent in all these stories. That's become the key thing, getting a bit of attention, probably for the first time, a bit of attention, a bit of male company, and again it slides off, but heads turned easily, flattery counts quite high. Those who turned away and left you to this fate, those in charge, those that negated their responsibilities, those that kind of left you to the wolves. I don't think there's been anywhere near enough people brought to book over this. I don't think there's been any changes. I think this is still going on. I think it's as rampant as it ever was. I think the police don't even know where to start. But yeah, if those who had the chances came to your aid when you wanted, and those who should have dared turned away when they should have cared, and that's on them. Back into the chorus again. That I for one, walk back down. Now walk back down is an extension. So in the first chorus we don't go into that. Second chorus is I for one, walk back down. Now I walk back down, and that's what that's saying. We're never going to let this lie. While ever this goes on, I'm going to be there to remind you about it. What have you done about it? What are you doing about it? Etc, etc, etc. I mean, at one point the song was actually going to be I for one, but I guess how were they to know was the final decision that we made. You can hear the instruments have taken a new lease of life now. So we've got the second chorus out of the way, the extended version of that chorus with the I for one walk back down comes back in again. The music's snaking its way again, heavier, rompier, having it. Then we're back into the verse again. Same as the first verse with a slight difference. That lead guitar winding away there with all the rest of the instruments backing it up. that's a message that we all need to be saying here. It's not just me who's sticking my head above the parapet, it's a call to arms. This is a problem for us all. This is a problem if it's not tackled will continue. These are the weakest people in our society that needs the protection. This is where, and it's like, where's feminism here? Feminists, where are you? Where are you? Simple as that. Where are the feminists in all this? So this bit's pretty good. So we're going to, obviously we've got the verse out there, the chorus out of the way again, into a little bit of a kind of musical, if you like, excursion with the dropping off and dropping back on with certain instruments, coming back in. I like this bit. Lead guitar echoing away there, and after a kind of a full stop and a little bit of a kind of echo on a leading away guitar. But I think that's it's overlong. If I'm honest, it's anthemic in terms of its time frame. It's everything Articulate Outburst are about, though. Strength where it's required, pointing out the hypocrisy of things that are staring us in the face, rallying a cry to change things. I think it's exactly where this needs to be, and exactly what it needs to say in a nutshell. So yeah, so join me in the next one. Thanks very much for listening. If you could ring the bell, like, share as many times as you can, that'd be great if you could. All your support's much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.